In this tutorial, I will show you one way you can take a PDF worksheet and put the contents into an editable Google slide deck so it can be assigned digitally. To demonstrate this process, I will be using a PDF purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers. Please be mindful of copyright. When using materials and modifying purchased documents for use in your classroom, check the copyright restrictions before sharing with others. To copy the content of the PDF to the slides, I first need to create images with the content. You can take a screenshot with whatever snipping tool you are familiar with and save these to a folder. You can snip the whole page or just a portion that you want. After creating my slide deck, I will review the worksheet directions to determine what modifications will need to be added to allow students to interact with the content digitally. I've noticed that students may need to mark up the document with tools they are unfamiliar with. I'm going to add a toolbox which will allow them to drag and drop markups to the document. I will also include a screencast for students who may need to see the directions more than once. So that I only have to make the toolbox once, I will add it to a blank slide and duplicate the slide for each worksheet page. I now need to add my content images to the slide backgrounds. By adding them as a background rather than inserting them as an image, they will be locked and students can't move or delete them accidentally. I've already saved my background images, so I can insert all of them at this time. It's important to note that Google sets the aspect ratio to widescreen by default, which stretches out my image. I will go in to Page Setup and change it to the standard aspect to make sure that my image is not stretched. Let's review what we've done so far. We took the screenshots of our content on the PDF worksheet and saved them. We created our slides and added a toolbox with drag and drop markup options. We created a screencast of directions on how to mark up the digital worksheet. We added our content images as backgrounds for each page of the worksheet. And we made sure that our aspect ratio on the slides matched our images so they are not distorted. Now we need to add some text boxes for our fill-in-the-blank portions of our worksheet. After creating the text box, I add a border which will stand out as needing a response. I will also add a fill color to block the original line on the image. I will format the color to red so that the answers will stand out. I can now copy and paste on all the fill-in-the-blank responses in my digital worksheet. Our digital worksheet is complete. I will now go in and fill this out as a student to make sure I haven't overlooked any needed processes. Let's go through and review our modifications that made this worksheet function in a digital space. We started with a PDF. Traditionally, we'd make a copy of this and give to students to complete with pencils and markers. And now, a public service announcement. Here are a few memes as you consider worksheets as a learning resource. Digital worksheets are still just worksheets. Use them judiciously with your focus being rich, authentic learning experiences that engage and empower your students. If you're interested in learning how to assign a Google worksheet in Schoology, click the screen to play the tutorial.